Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Hawk versus Infi taking place here on Concealed Hill. Over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have, excuse me, Infi spawning as the blue Night Elf. Gonna go ahead and turn to his point of view. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, am I getting hiccups in the middle of a cast? Oh, that's absolutely great. We have Hawk spawning as the red human over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Human versus Night Elf in this 1v1 matchup. I do apologize for Night Elf games. It feels like they are absolutely everywhere, but hopefully you guys will still enjoy the games. As we are looking at, well, Hawk pretty much opening up with a very standard opening. You're going to see the Altar of Kings off over here, and then we'll see what finally that hero will be. Meanwhile, back over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, well, just now passing the 1 minute mark. Wow, that seems like a very long time for only 1 minute. Anyways, Ancient of War nearing completion. And, well, we are also looking at, most likely will be a Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove, a very popular hero as of late. And, well, long are the days I have of seeing the Demon Hunter. Alright, Keeper of the Grove. Going to be making its way out. Moonwell's being constructed down. We'll take a look at what Infi's strategy will be. Meanwhile, does really need to get a good number of Moonwells to try and regenerate those hit points later on. Meanwhile, Ancient of War going to go ahead and join in on the fight right there, taking a bit of aggro before eating up some trees. Hey 42, hey Amakado, thanks for tuning in. I'm doing well. Thank you for just tuning into the games that I have today, as a footman now makes its way back down to the bottom left. Keeper of the Grove finally used its ability. It looks as though, yes, the trance actually getting caught right here. One getting ensnared, the other behind it, unable to move. So a little bit of a misstep right there, and that will cause a little bit of a slowing or delay, but we'll see what the overall impact will be. Keeper of the Grove now going after this footman here. Footman going to be trying to head back now. No entangle coming in from that Keeper of the Grove, as he is not at level 2 just quite yet. Meanwhile, the footman is just running for the hills. He essentially just traded about 130 hit points for a little bit of annoyance and a couple of seconds. That's something that actually works out fairly well for human players if you're able to save that footman. Bring it back, wait for it to heal up behind the scroll of regeneration that you are going to be using at some point anyway, with that arcane vault. Meanwhile, militia now being called over here. Archmage is going to try and clear out this Null Overseer creep camp. You do have to be careful though, because that water elemental, that purge from this guy right there, there's the detonation. Water elemental now being dropped down, trying to get a big detonation across multiple units. Water elemental down to 225 hit points, going to try to back off there. Meanwhile, more and more damage being added. There is that detonation as the Keeper of the Grove now makes its way off to the north. Last Null Overseer about to get finished off here, picking up that Tome of Agility. Null Overseer, is it going to end up getting taken down? Yes, it will. Claws of Attack +9. Archmage drops a level 2 Water Elemental. Peasants are now running for the hills. And, well, lucky or unlucky for them, they are at medium armor, which means that they take less damage from the archers, but more damage from those Ents. All right, Keeper of the Grove continuing to join in on the fight. Archmage does not have Dust of Appearance, meaning well, these archers are just going to be standing guard for quite some time. Archer now making its way back off to the north here. Keeper of the Grove going to try and engage. There is a little bit of damage coming through Keeper of the Grove. What is happening? Archer is going to start poking apart this scout tower as well. Beautifully done to try and buy a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, militia are now joining in on the fight as well. Archer is going to try and break Shadow Meld right there. Let's take a look at this. One or two of those what are those trends could get taken down. Meanwhile, low hit point archers are going to try and run back. Scout tower nearing completion. One footman nearby. Meanwhile, back down to the south, more and more archers are just shadow melding. This one archer is going to have a very bad day in just a little bit. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove purposely bought the Dust of Appearance to make it impossible to reveal those archers. Archers now once again on the move, back off to the north here, repairing this scout tower. Scout tower is nearly done. Arcane tower, there is an entangle now as the archer Well, this archer could be having a very, very bad day. Low hit point footman, well, low hit point peasant getting taken down. Couple of footmen just are going to be left behind right here, and it is still a long time to come until daybreak. We are not halfway through the night, at least not of yet. Meanwhile, I thought I saw something off to the north here. It was the keeper of the grove. He did staff of teleport back down to the south. All right, low hit point archer now making its way back. You can see one low hit point archer still trying to regenerate some hit points. Low hit point archer now continuing to move back again. Is that footman, are the footmen really going to realize that there's still another unit there? That is the question, as the archers, well, are going to just shadow meld right here. Fountain of Health on Concealed Hill, using the map to your advantage. Beautifully done once more. As this low hit point archer, will it have enough speed to run away? I do believe so. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Ancient of Lores are getting added in. Archmage going to be heading down to the south. Archmage heading back down to the south is going to drop some water elementals and perhaps try and do some damage. Delay this Ancient of Lore. Quick detonations though, making that one Ancient of Lore rather expensive. All right, Keeper of the Grove gets an entangle off onto the footman here. Not much defense happening off to the north here. Hawk is going to have a difficult time trying to defend this location, and also on top of that, the Archmage does not have that much mana. All right, Archmage getting choked up on a sheep. Meanwhile, archers are still healing back up here, but you got to be careful as daybreak is about to come. Meanwhile, Ents are going to get taken down there as the low hit point footman. What is it doing? Oh, low hit point footman trying to run away from the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove, however, now very, very deep in this position. Could have tried to hold its position right there. As you can now see, well, the militia are going to be able to get us around. Yes, they are. All right, Scroll of Town Portal quickly being used. Archer is now trying to head back off to the north here. Fireball misses the target. And who is really coming out ahead? That is the question. Now, Hawk does have the economic advantage. He has a slight supply advantage, but his army is smaller. On top of that, the Keeper of the Grove, well, is at level 3 compared to the Archmage, also at level 3. So, good use of Hawk trying to maintain that level advantage so far, as the Ogre Magi is about to get taken down. Wand of Illusion quickly is going to get picked up. Forest Troll High Priest and should get finished off without much of an issue, trying to heal off more of those units as well as that High Priest gets taken down. Meanwhile, over here to the bottom right, Tree of Life is going to go... excuse me. Oh, wow. Tree of Life going to go ahead and try and tank some of that damage right here. And, well, the Null Assassins are going to be stuck on that Tree of Life because it is not actually able to... another hiccup. Able to be poisoned. Normally, Null Assassins are very deadly and very problematic early on, because the Null Assassins constantly switch targets, making it difficult to try and tank it with, say, a Water Elemental or your Spirit Wolves. When your Tree of Life cannot get poisoned, this could be a problem. Oh, all that time. Difficult not knowing that it was in fact just an illusion, aggroing and, well, causing a little bit of focus on that attention right there. Archmage, Water Elemental, gonna finish off some more of these units here. Tome of Knowledge was most likely looking for a Tome of Experience, really wanting to get to level 2 Brilliant Aura. We are now going into Blacksmith with the Rifleman upgrades. Very powerful upgrades indeed for, well, the perfect counter right now to deal with the Dryads. However, if we do transition into Archers with Hippogriffs, that could end up becoming a little bit of a problem, as the Hippogriffs will unmount those archers, and then it's just a straight up one-on-one fight. However, there are no anti-air units so far, as the Dryads quickly clear out some water elementals. Alright, Alchemist is showing up to the party. Archmage, Rifleman right there, getting in a little bit of poking damage. First time on the stream, support from France. Well, thank you for tuning in from France. Sorry about the Notre Dame Cathedral. Hope you, well, hopefully it will be saved. Anyways, well, I believe it actually is saved, but hopefully the damage is not as bad as they hope. Maybe hopefully the water damage isn't as bad. Hopefully it didn't do more damage than just the fire itself. Anyways, back to the game. Forest Troll High Priest. Panda gets to level 3. Potion of Greater Mana also on that Pandaren Brewmaster. That is going to be a problem. Panda with Breath of Fire does deal a lot of damage and can really tip things in favor, especially against a lot of these towers. However, you're going to see a potential creep jack here. Take a look at this down over here. Ogre Warrior quickly taken down. Dryad going to be able to remove that water elemental in no time flat, as the red Drake now making its way over. Are the units making their way back down? That is the question now. The army should be trying to get in position. There you go. There is an illusion as well. And, well, here you have it. The Archmage is just running straight through, well, causing a little bit of a disturbance, trying to get away. There's the Abolish Magic to try and, well, clear things up just a bit. Scroll of Healing. Was that a Mortar Team? Wow, Mortar Team finishing off a unit. Healing Spray now coming across. However, Pandarin with Breath of Fire and Drunken Haze catching many of these units off guard. All right, low hit point Rifleman. It is going to try to get healed up as much as possible. Level 4 now on the Keeper of the Grove. Mortar Team in the far back. 2 mortar teams in the very, very far back there. Need to get healed back up as more mortar teams are still getting added. Keeper of the Grove now making its way back over here to the right. Somehow, oh, thank you for the follow. So far what we're seeing right now is that Hawk has a slightly larger army, and, well, the economic advantage also belongs to Infi. He is not in low upkeep right now, so he is getting more gold per second, which is now translating into items. Scroll of Healing both on the Panda and also on that Keeper of the Grove is going to spell problems as Infi, well, tries to clear off the remainder of this Red Drake creep count. Also fighting nearby this Fountain of Health, all of these low hit point units are just going to continue to heal back up when you are spread apart that quickly and easily. There is a Sentry Ward going to get revealed, and now, well, here is the problem. Do you engage against your opponent when their back is facing a Fountain of Health? You generally don't want to do that, but at the same time, you don't want them to get free hit points by staying at the Fountain of Health either. It's one of those situations where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But it looks as though, well, the Panda is just going to be engaging here off to the north. The problem is that Panda used much of its mana already and is not going to be able to really Breath of Fire effectively all of these buildings here. All right, Panda now going after the Workshop. Dryads dealing a good amount of damage. Panda is going to try and engage here. There's some repairs going on. Peasants are all right there. In comes the Panda. There's a Breath of Fire, and now it is going to go ahead and back off. Entangle onto the Mortar Team. Panda has plenty of mana to go. Could go for another Breath of Fire here. Scroll of Town Portal coming in. Are they going to get trapped? That is the question, and nope. Actually teleporting off onto the other side. All of the archers are going to end up being revealed. Can you acid bomb those units? Oh, there is a true sight from that flying machine. All of that damage is being dealt out now. All right, continuing the fight here. Healing, spraying up all of the units. However, a quick entangle puts an end to that as the, well, Alchemist now chases after that Panda. Panda still did not use that Potion of Greater Mana. And that one lone flying machine did clear out 6 supply worth of units. Let's take a look back down to the south here. Keeper of the Grove and that Panda are all here ready to go. Panda or Alchemist is in a little bit of trouble. Mortar Team's going to try and engage. Mortar Team's with that really good range. And, well, Infi was just a bit out of position there. Archmage going to continue to just try to poke down units. Where is the flying machine? I don't see it as of yet, as the Mortar Teams and the Riflemen may turn back around. Oh, could turn into a little bit of a problem once more, as the Mortar Teams are well protected by Riflemen. All right, let's take a look back across here. Keeper of the Grove does not have that much mana. Main army of Hawk is trying to stick together. Where is all of that supply? That's really what I don't get right now, as we are going into fragmentation shards. We are at Castle. We're going into a Paladin as the third hero, so there is going to be a lot of burst healing indeed. Panda is going to try and get a Breath of Fire off. Yes, does get a big Breath of Fire off. Peasants are going to end up getting taken down. More Ents now making their way over, as the Panda should be able to get another big Breath of Fire. All right, Arcane Tower trying to remove as much mana as possible. Now going after all of those individual units right here, removing as much mana, and so far the Ents are doing a great job. What is this army doing? The army of Hawk is just engaging a rather, well, questionable choice at this point, as the Panda is just walking around off to the north. Panda, however, has still not used anything, that Potion of Greater Mana. Meanwhile, Mountain Giants joining in on the fight with, well, clubs the siege damage from the Mountain Giant, gonna be dealing much more damage to the buildings than Hawk originally anticipated. More mortar teams coming in. It is gonna turn into a base race, however, as the Ancient of Wonders now taking a lot of damage. All right, Ancient of Wonders could give level 3 to the Alchemist. No, not quite yet. Oh, Fairy Dragons, Mana Flare. All right, what's gonna happen here is gonna get taken down. Yes, Alchemist now sitting at level 3. Units are now trying to fight back here. As you can take a look, a Mana Flare coming across as the Alchemist is going to try and continue to engage. All right, Hippogriffs also joining into the sky. Would have been an easy shot to take it down, as all of these units are now taken down as well. Mountain Giant coming across, now dealing damage with that club, but it is going up against heavy armor damage. Not really that great. The Drunken Haze causing problems across multiple riflemen, as the missing and the damage reduction is no joke. All right, Mortar Team's going to get taken down. There goes another one here. Alchemist now still in serious bit of trouble, as the Mountain Giants are dealing massive damage now that they are putting down the tree and ready to engage with their bare fist that deals normal damage to those riflemen. Inner Fire, however, +5 damage. Mortar Team getting in some big shell shock across all those units there. Dryads able to back away in time. Paladin getting taken down. Mortar Teams still trying to fight their way through, and these Mountain Giants, 1600 hit point Goliaths, so difficult to take down, as well, one gets taken down. All right, Riflemen continuing to fight back here. Mortar Team's unable to finish off those targets. What is going on here? Mortar Team trying to chase after that unit here. Let's take a look. Mountain Giant down to 48 hit points. Is it going to end up finishing off this Mountain Giant? One or two more shots would have done it. Meanwhile, the flying machines are still trying to get back away. And, well, Alchemist, where is it going? Alchemist could perhaps try and wand a mana stealing. Archmage could try to drop another water elemental here in just a moment. Still a lot of problem going around every which way, as the Alchemist is down to 75 mana. All right, units still trying to head back once more. That Panda's Breath of Fire, really the MVP spell, making Hawk's army significantly smaller in terms of effectiveness. All right, Paladin quickly heals some units back up. I believe it used a Clarity Potion on the way over. Meanwhile, two very low hit point Dryads, a very low hit point Mountain Giant, 3 low hit point units, and that is, well, absolutely crazy. All right. Hello, luckiest player. Hello, Felgaman. Thank you for catching me live. Already up to 22 viewers. Good to be back and being able to just cast some good games for you today. Paladin now makes its way over. Alchemist sitting at level 3. You're going to see some engagement off to the north here. In comes those Mountain Giants. Mountain Giants looking to finish off many of these units here. Panda is, just shy of level 5. What Orb of Venom now coming across. I live in Irvine, right by, close to Blizzard headquarters. Anyways, back across here. Mountain Giant down to 179 hit points. Oh, the Fountains of Health. Look how much hit points the Fountains of Health generate for that Mountain Giant right there. That Mountain Giant down to, what, 400, 300 hit points, dropping very, very quickly as the engagement now heading back every which way. All right, Mountain Giant coming back across over here. This Mountain Giant, what is it going to do? Acid Bomb, taking damage over time. Mountain Giant could get taken down. This could give extra hit points here. Scroll of Town Portal off to the north, trying to finish off this Mountain Giant. Mountain Giant survives at 33 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal from behind trees saves the smiling giant. All right, let's take a look back across over here. Oh wow, the Moonwells should be pretty dry right now. Yeah, very, very dry indeed. And some of the Moonwells still have a little bit of gas in them, but there's still health to be had. Back off to the north, Mortar Team's trying to finish off more units. Alchemist with 10 armor. I never realized how powerful Inner Fire was on that Alchemist. Such a sight to behold. Acid Bomb onto some of those units there. Breath of Fire across multiple units here. Panda, well, not having to worry about too much damage, as the Riflemen are shooting worse than Stormtroopers while under Drunken Haze. Riflemen continuing to fight back against all of those forces, all of those Force of Natures there. Another big Breath of Fire here. Mortar Teams, big misses across the board again. Holy Fire or Holy Light right there, saving another unit. Priest needs to get more mana. More heals need to be underway. Hawk at 79 compared to 80 supply right now. Meanwhile, this Mountain Giant hanging out next to the Fountain of Health. Yeah, dad joke. Or a Star Wars joke. Mountain Giant healing, hanging out right by that Fountain of Health right there. Meanwhile, back over here, Red Drake heading over to the other Fountain of Health Dryad should be able to do a good amount of, remove that inner fire and then focus down that red Drake here, not without any serious problems, and then heal back up. If Infi can get back up to a fully healthy army, that could be a problem. But right now, well, mortar teams cannot be ignored. Mortar teams going after the Altar of Elders, going after the Moonwells now. This is the perfect opportunity, as you know your opponent is not going to be able to build up all of those Moonwells in time. Oh, mortar teams, they should have really been trying to attack right there. Are they going to be able to hit the targets that they want? So much fragmentation shard damage, or, well, light fragmentation shard damage. As well, fragmentation shards were strictly nerfed in the last patch. Meanwhile, Sorceress is continuing to fight Rifleman, getting taunted by those mountain giants continually, as the Paladin is healing back up that front line. Alchemist is in that front spot, doing a great job so far. Paladin is in a little bit of a trouble spot. Healing spray going all the way to the Paladin off to the north, as it is Devotion Aura over Divine Shield. The Paladin getting in a little bit more healing, but the Paladin is going to be in a big bunch of trouble. It needs to get away. Meanwhile, the Alchemist is low on mana again. We may see a detonation right here and then remove some more mana again, as the Alchemist still turns back around. All right, what is going on? Continuing the chase after all of those targets. Paladin with a good amount of armor. Alchemist at 7 armor even without inner fire, getting in a bunch of heals, as that Paladin is in that front line spot trying to stay alive. There's the entangle. Paladin could get taken down to 4 hit points, and there it goes. Was that too much investment into the killing of the Paladin, though? That is a big question. Big Staff of Preservation saving. Resurrection from the Tavern, as the Archmage is giving that Brilliance Aura back. Is it level 3 Brilliance Aura? That's the reason why the mana is actually fairly decent. Meanwhile, Archmage needs to head back, gets entangled. Archmage goes down. That's a big problem. Paladin did not have enough, followed by Tranquility. All of a sudden, the Panda, Archmage, still battling it out. Constant resurrection. Is it going to be enough, as the Wisp are constantly detonating, removing all of this mana as well? Archmage with that Brilliance Aura, even at level 3, the biggest ability, highest level, not going to be enough. Staff of Preservation once again saves the Panda. More fragmentation shard rifleman damage. Hawk actually comes out slightly ahead in that battle. Have I ever seen a Keeper of the Grove lose? Yes, I have. All right. An additional expansion coming in from Hawk. The main bases have been mined out, so it is 1 base to 1 base right now. Meanwhile, this mountain giant has been sticking around this fountain of health and has not rejoined. Thank you, Grizzly, for the follow. Fragmentation shards, the area of effect some people say it was a small nerf, some people say it was a big nerf. I will say in situations where the Panda is using Breath or Drunken Haze and it hits, that is actually a very big nerf, because the mortar teams, you can't do main damage, and then if the area of effect is significantly smaller, well, you know what happens there. All right, mortar teams coming in back from the other side here, no cancellation. Knights, mortar teams continuing to fire back around. What is going on? The Keeper of the Grove is actually just surrounded by units. Knights on the field. No inner fire on the Knight, though. Paladin needs to be, well, really careful, as it is the main life source for many of the units. Tranquility, once again, on that Keeper of the Grove. He is low on mana, though, as the Paladin is just trying to rain down constant heals. Knight sitting at level, or 303 hit points, has to be very careful, trying to get healed back up. Paladin needs to get to level 3 for level 2. Holy Light, a big breath of fire, healing back more units again, as the Panda is once again in a very tough spot. Holy Light saves, as the Panda quickly tries to switch targets again. All right, Panda down to 205 hit points. Breath of Fire turns back around. Staff of Preservation just as the Paladin dies. Panda gets teleported back home once again. All right, Scroll of Town Portal trying to get away. What is going on? Is that Knight going to get taken? Mountain Giant saved at 42 hit points. All right, another Mountain Giant getting saved at ridiculously low hit points. 80 supply compared to 64. Paladin getting resurrected. No expansion being built here. Mortar teams are upgraded 3-2 upgrades. Archmage at level 5. Alchemist is at level 3. Cloak of Flames really not even dealing that much damage.
Your building is complete.
Alright. If human wins, I'm gonna be mad. Really? With the amount of Night Elf games out there, I would have thought people would have been rooting for human. That's just my thought. Anyways, Mountain Giants, full upgrades. Full upgrades on those Mountain Giants. And right now, if you take a look at the unit combination, you see a Panda, you see a Keeper of the Grove. That's all. That's all. And then Mountain Giants. That's all the units that Infi has. Not that much diversity. You watch other WarCraft streams or streams in general? Yes, I do. I even have my Back to WarCraft hoodie somewhere else. Anyways, let's go ahead and join back in on the fight down to the south. It looks as though, yeah, the mortar teams, if they had finished off more Moonwells, perhaps it would have been in a better spot here. We are looking at a rebuild on the Hawk. On Hawk's Town Hall in the center portion of the map. This is the last location. Meanwhile, Panda sitting at level 5. Big Breath of Fire across multiple center units. Healing Spray counteracting that Breath of Fire as the Knights now need to engage against the Mountain Giants. Are we going to see a quick exit by Staff of Preservation on that Panda again? I do believe so. Panda, no! Earthstorm and Fire! Earthstorm and Fire on the heroes there. Cyclone quickly being used. Priest are now trying to engage on the far side. Keeper of the Grove still has Tranquility as the fight is still raging on. Level 5, level 3 compared to 2 level 6 heroes. The Panda has a plenty of hit points right now. Cyclone picking up that Paladin. Paladin seeing that level 2. I don't think it's going to be enough. Critical Strike also coming across as the Paladin is going to get entangled. And I believe, well, this may be the beginning of the end. Mountain Giants, 3/3 upgrades. 2 heroes, and that is it. Mountain Giant's going to finish off the remaining of these units here without much of a problem. Meanwhile, economic advantage now tipping in favor of Hawk, since Hawk actually has an expansion. However, the problem is Hawk needs Knights and lots of them to win out on the fight, and these Knights are not upgraded at all. Riflemen are 3/2 upgraded. Mountain Giants are 3/3 upgraded. The Knights not sharing any upgrades at all. These Mountain Giants have a huge advantage. Alright, fight gonna go ahead and rage on here. Archmage gonna try and engage. Constant repairing once more. And let's take a look. Panda coming in from the back again. Alchemist in that front center line. Even with Cloak of Flames dealing damage just by standing next to him, it doesn't matter if the Mountain Giant still has 7 armor and over 1,600 hit points. Wow, so much damage to have. Knight now trying to back off here. There goes that Town Hall, and I believe this will be the end here, unless we should see a couple of Staff of Preservations to make sure that no experience is given to that Alchemist. Paladin is getting resurrected. He may join in the fight just for one last hurrah, but it does not look good. Knight with 10 armor trying to run away. Tranquility being used by the Keeper of the Grove. No easy Stormbolt or easy stun to try and stop it. Paladin shows up to the party. Gonna go ahead and try and Holy Light some units again. Alchemist is still in that front spot. Paladin is now entangled. Are we gonna perhaps see some Healing Spray? And, well, let's take a look at it. He is completely surrounded. The Paladin just wants to be able to heal up some units. Unable to do any of that. Water Elemental about to get taken down. Knights down to sub 100 hit points. There is 1 Knight left. 44 supply compared to 71. Mountain Giant just coming back with a vengeance. And I think this is going to be the end of it. Alchemist still has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, trying to fight next to your guard towers to get every little bit of an advantage. The Knight should really be heading over to those Fountains of Health. And I think Infi, if he does win, is because he used those Fountains of Health much more efficiently than his opponent. Knights still trying to cause a little bit of problems. There's an Acid Bomb right there. Water Elemental quickly going to get taken down, though. Alchemist needs to head over to this Fountain of Health, heal back up. There is no reason to be fighting in this location right now, as that is going to be the game. Infi taking out Hawk. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.